The winds hear my plight. I am the light. This time I dodged Rafiki's staff, evaded the pole, ran, and laughed. The firestorm swirls within, delivered by the angel again. Come from the tabernacle with a pen. They divide, steal, and take. They mow my lawn with a rake. I will give them the sword and some fire from their lake. A shallow well for the wretched and fake. How many cathedrals does it take to screw in a Jew? Is that hate speech, or should I use an African or two? Perhaps some independence from Germany too. That's a little specific. They seem to use the entire EU across the Pacific. Will America and Europe say sorry and change their ways? Let me tell you about the jungle back in the days. Civilized at first, but then came Nam. The life expectancy was 16.4 seconds then for the lamb, shot by southerners in the backs, while tanking the Hyksos about some drugs and facts. My ancestors were some fucking gods, so with my lifeblood, I'll destroy your facades. I'll fly a spaceship into Zeus's shit. Pretend like I was playing video games and smoking hits, for what they did to great-grandpa Yeho, or should I say brother. What the fuck ever happened to love one another? Then, when the Barnabusians went crazy in German lands, did you know they use Indians and Afrikaans? Ever heard of those pilots in World War II? Oh, they love telling about how it was so atrocious for the Jew. If I was Eastern Asia, I'd be pissed off too. Do you not understand why China doesn't want Taiwan in the EU? Do we need more stories about Ukraine's newest infection with the fascist flu? Sounds like a few Vikings had twins. Then for some reason self-hatred begins. You should know all those people are of Roman, Turkish, and Syrian descent. Unless it's German, Nordic, Polish, they also need to repent. Sounds like Israel? Grandkids are speaking in vain. That's why sometimes someone has to give common sense to the line of Cain. Great Paul Brahma isn't too happy about what Muslims have done. There might be a few words from Ishtar, Ma'at, and El's son. Ahab the Pope did worst of all. But before that, I have 4 men on the call. Ahmose was African, or perhaps Egyptian. House of bondage for the apes from the east. Something about the Middle Feast, trying to fix some infected yeast before more became a part of the beast. Let me tell you about cause and effect. When the Hyksos came in, there was much disrespect. Then 400 years later, an African took hold of the sect. Although still in eastern lands, there were Melech, Zedek, and heathen-like rituals at hand. Don't forget Akhenaten. Paul, they turned Ken white again. Or should I say they put Joshua in the trash bin. They must hate the number 10. It would seem they also hated the moon. It did say using the waters, pharaohs would be consumed, although they attacked the wrong 2 men in the room. They find culture and steals and then say animal sacrifice began with Afrikaans, something about the beginning being Afghanistan. The laws of Atum, Ma'at, and Mentu all disrupt those claims. The laws of the Kemet, Hamitic, and Nubia all overpower King James. They couldn't even learn the spirit and tame. Now for over 10,000 years, Africa has been taking the fame. Northern lights are so dim they steal graves from the south, then have the nerve to let the phrase monkeys leave their mouth. Sundials, stone hedges, and even astronomy observations. Priests, temples, and monasteries. Now for effect. Let me hit J, B, pause, and select. A little cheat code with dialect. Zoroaster and Ahura Mazda. That's my big brother Elijah. The lands were filled with wild ways, until there popped up a fiery prophet back in those days. He took apart the ways of the vile. It would seem to me they were baking children for a while. Melchizedek using fear as bait. It says Abraham was sacrificing Isaac way back in the day. The lords of men in Babylon, the Levant, Indus, and Sodom. Did you know Khan and Ghana are really south? They might be upset for me throwing the true Canaan out. Naya, Neo. Wan, Yeho. Yanez or Wanis, which house do they prefer? The vine of crucifixion or the mountain's reefer? Jehovah wasn't lost in vain. I will now give them a little Yahweh's rod and cane. A Polish Romanian coming from my ancestors' blood. I will show thee what I mean when I deliver a fiery flood. Mother Africa and Father Spirit spoken through a precious bud.